my interpretation of a 1990 hip-hop track. Hey guys, Andy Pickering here. Today's video is going to be something a little bit different. So as I've just finished my EP, I wanted to delve into some old tapes, think about doing a video about something just, random, different, not necessarily focusing on Andy Pickering 60s compositions. So I had an idea that I'm going to go back into some of my hip-hop days.
That sound is a radio.
When I was younger, I used to absolutely love hip-hop, particularly like 80s and 90s stuff. Gangster rap, that was my thing. Even before I got into the Beatles, the Doors, and all the stuff that's really influenced my music. So when that coincided with getting into 4-tracks, I used to mess about making hip-hop all the time. I used to have this sampler. It was a VSS 30. Cool little Yamaha sampler where you sample like 1.5 seconds and loop it, and you can overdub the samples, and it has all kinds of crazy electronic sounds as well. And basically, so I made loads of old hip-hop, and I've got some tapes of it still. Okay, so here's a tape that I've dug up from 2003, and this is exactly the sort of thing that I used to do. Fat beats and breaks. So I used to get the VSS sampler, sample whatever, and just record it on the 4-track and rap over it just for fun. And here's one I did. It was a verse that I'd just got from an Ice-T record. I did actually used to write my own lyrics, but I mean, I'm not taking myself seriously as a hip-hop artist, definitely not a rapper, but I love the charm of these gritty beats, really do. But the idea of it is you use the 4-track a bit like decks, where you have samples and drum beats on the different tracks and you bring them in and out as an arrangement, almost like you're spinning decks and, queuing up records. So it was kind of an interesting way, all done just completely for fun, and I've still got some stuff on the tapes. Anyway, years and years passed. About 5 years ago, I was working with a guy called Jay, who calls himself Diskobwoi, and he's a rapper, and we both shared a love for old school hip-hop. And I said, well, I'm interested in having a bash at producing one on my 4-track in some capacity, like I used to. I wrote a melody. Just say all that you want to say, and be all who you want to be, and I'll turn it round again. I'll fall from the other side. You can't catch me, but you can hide, and I'll turn it round again. That was actually a song that I'd written that wasn't finished. And I thought that'd be cool. What if I sped it up? And then it'd be a bit more like Prodigy-esque, a big chorus. Jay was up for it, so I said, just come to my studio, I'll work out an arrangement. 4-track was heavily used, and, it was going to be my interpretation of a 1990 hip-hop track. That was my inspiration. That was what I was going for. So let's see how we did it. So let's get into this track then. So I basically have the melody line that I sung on repeat, going over and over and over and over and over again all through the song. Same with the drums, same with the bass line, same with the organ. There's variations that I've learned in the arrangement with the drums. Sometimes the drum beat changes, there's some fills. Bass line might change in some bits on the organ, but generally it's the same thing. And the idea being is that when Jay wrote his verses and we counted how many verses he's got until the chorus comes in, I'd then count bars while I was doing the arrangement live, all in one take. And you know, you'll see how it works in a second when we hit play. And that's basically the idea of, like, say, using this as decks. There's a drum beat. Bass line. Sped it up a little bit. Sped it up because I wanted it to sound like early Prodigy. You get the idea. And I did all that sort of stuff live in one take, counting bars where the rap was going to go in the verses, and then bringing the choruses in when the choruses are coming in. And then we did the vocals, and then later I did some overdubs on the VSS 30, which are like electronic noises, fake scratching kind of sounds, just to fill out the arrangement really. And let's have a look at that now. Okay, so this is what we ended up with after the session. Straightforward on track 1 there, 4-track. So that is the live arrangement of what I came up with. And that's where the rapping comes in, you see. So I, you know, was counting, and you know, drop it down a bit because I know the vocals are going to come in, and variate it a bit, bring the organ back in. Like I say, all done live with just the mute buttons. Then bring the vocal back in. So yeah, we got to that point, happy with it. Then we laid down the vocals. So Jay got his rap out. Basically I did one single trap vocal with a delay on it. I doubled that, just complete copy of that, clean, so I could get a blend. Parallel processing, and then we just double tracked the odd line here and there.
My creed is the comedy of mental deed. Wade through your brain, water's clasping the receptive reeds. You can call it a fucking casket. Here to bury misconceptions, supposed daily needs. I'm out will heal you and heal you. My cerebral knowledge will capacitate and conceal you. I'm a brash.
And then I got the VSS for some sound effects, some really cool weird electronic stuff and scratching. And add it all in, you get this cool effect like this. So there we go. That is how I made a hip-hop tune using the 4-track as decks. So I'm going to post the finished track now, and if you are into old school style hip-hop tunes, you'll appreciate the throwback sound that I got just from this kind of simple but unusual method of producing a hip-hop track, especially by today's standards.
Here to bury misconceptions, propose a daily needs. I'm out to heal you and heal you. My cerebral knowledge recapacitating and seal you. I'm a brash fiend, hash fiend, look your heads like new potatoes. I'm just like nigga about to mash these. Swarm you like monster gas, rush you fast. Choke the fucking niggas, watch your body hit the grass. I'm a nigga that'll lie in wait, lie in hate, sit in space and die in trace. My taste is tasteless and baseless. My oral dissemination of doctrine is faceless. Serve me a dish of basil pesto. I'm a Caesaric word klepto, trust me.
Just say all that you wanna say, and be all who you wanna be, and I'll turn it round again. I fall from the other side. You can't catch me, well you can try, and I'll turn it round again.
I like my green drawers bursting through the seams in my jeans. I ain't a slick man, nor a quick man, but keep it a bait behaviour, I can assure you son, I'll lick man. Move like a passive verbal priest, passing sermons of verbal grease, and I'm murmuring digestible passages for you nitty motherfuckers to eat. I'm laced up in my fucking combats, taking mercenary lyrical contracts. I move strictly guerrilla, cause I'll be setting you these rhymes like Viet Cong traps. These beats carry me intellectual myriad, and mate, I'm on my fucking alien. You can call me a deist, slay mythos and niggas for the times of Jesus. I'm the lightweight looking, 2-ton ruckus, cooking, billing, bunning, heshy motherfuckers. For all you whack brothers and some slow cookers, cause there's a lot of you, and they just astounding. Diskobwoi is quite possible, most geezer sounding. Middle England side man, 8-bin had man, hypercritical, fucking screw loose madman. I am the monster for my own little clusterfuck buster, leaving man regularly flustered about all the things they used to fucking trust in. I'm a belligerent pillager of all the school villagers, picking parts your memory out my teeth when I'm finished with you. My psychosis, most productive mitosis, self-inflammation, bruising grit, you don't even notice. I'm a vibrant looking grease hydrant, extremely clapped out rhymes, cause I'm a motherfucking verse tyrant. Horrendous bender of lyrical curses, really it's one of these dead fucking spitters in hers.
Just say all that you wanna say, and be all who you wanna be, and I'll turn it round again. I fall from the other side. You can't catch me, well you can try, and I'll turn it round again. Just say all that you wanna say, and be all who you wanna be, and I'll turn it round again. I fall from the other side. You can't catch me, well you can try, and I'll turn it round again. Just say all that you wanna say, and be all who you wanna be, and I'll turn it round again.
Okay, so there we go. A hip-hop track that I was very, very, very pleased with. I'll link it below. It's been on SoundCloud since I did it. Has absolutely no followers, hardly any listens, but it's something that, yeah, I just loved. I called myself Byron Slipper. That was my producer alias, and that is, you know, a bit of an in-joke with an old headmaster that I had at school who used to slipper people illegally in the 1980s. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed it anyway. Anyone that follows my music and really likes my 60s kind of stuff, I hope you like the fact that I lend my hand to other styles occasionally, and I do really enjoy using that still analog 4-track mentality. Like I say, this was a throwback to what I used to do when I was like 18, 19 on a 4-track. Yes, I still did the songwriting and the 60s stuff, but I always had this love for hip-hop, and it's just done for complete fun and enjoyment, and that's why we should always make music. Should be the single only reason that we make music, for fun, because we love it. So yeah, bit of a different video today, and I thought I'd just get this one out there, and I hope you enjoy it. All links below to everything related to my world. See everyone later. Cheers.